My gaming friends and family, members of the PGP, welcome to the fifth Altoholics Anonymous meeting where you are surrounded by friends and family, like-minded individuals. This is a judgment-free zone where we can discuss our addiction to City of Heroes. How you guys doing tonight? Happy Wednesday night. I swear I need that shirt. How you guys doing tonight? Mandu, 𝗕𝗟𝗜𝗚, Coffee Girl, Sergio, Navinia, CoX. Oh my goodness. Carol, Freddie. See you then. Everybody's here. It's been a while. I did a smidget, little bit of research, and it had been like 4 months since we had done an Altoholics Anonymous meeting. It had been a good while. So again, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing before we get started. What's the issue, Zero? We've got a lot of fun stuff on the slate tonight, I think. We're going to touch on the patch from last week from Homecoming because I'm still having people tell me they had no idea about these patch notes from last week about with the tankers and the brute changes and all that good stuff. So we're going to touch on that. I also, live on air, we're going to open up an unopened, sealed, sniffed, not unsniffed, sniffed booster pack. See what we get. Maybe we can get a holographic card because I'd love to have one. But also, we are going to give one away. So sit tight. You don't want to go anywhere tonight. We're actually going to bring back the wheel. Yes, the wheel is making an appearance once again tonight. We'll put some names on it and we'll let it spin. Good old RNG. See who comes up with a win tonight. We're also going to discuss the primalist archetype a little bit. I want to talk about really what it was at the time when it was in development, and also the fact that some of these other private servers are considering implementing it in the coming months, real soon. I'm talking in the next month or two. So we'll look at what it was, what all it involved, and then we're going to take some phone calls from you guys. Yes, you have an opportunity to call in tonight, and we're going to have some topics to discuss about City of Heroes. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. 38 people in the chat so far tonight. Welcome to Altoholics Anonymous, guys. Basically a City of Heroes podcast where we talk about City of Heroes instead of playing it. It sounds kind of weird, right? Now, before we dive into it, how many times have I said that tonight? Like 3 times? If anyone is unaware, the Positive Gamer merch is live. There's a link in the description, and I'll link it in the live chat real quick. We are rocking tonight the Go Hunt Kill Skulls shirt. I like it, but it's not my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite is the It's All a Nemesis plot. This one is my favorite, but those shirts are up for sale on the website, and I'll link it down in the live chat right about now. There it is. So let's dive over and take a look real quick. I know a lot of people are probably familiar with it. Is there anyone that's unaware? How about this? We'll do it this way. Is there anyone that's unaware of the tanker and brute and mastermind changes from the patch last week? Anyone who's unaware of them? I wanted to touch on them if people didn't know about them, because I had a lot of people in the stream the other night say, oh, I'm going to go make a tanker now, or I'm going to go make a mastermind now, because they weren't aware of the changes. So if anyone's not aware, we'll touch on them for just a moment. Did you watch the video on Nova? I watched Nova's video. The last one he did about City of Heroes, I think, was like 3 weeks ago, that talked about the source code and the trademarks and whatnot with NCSoft. I did watch that one, if that's the one you're referring to, which I did make a video about it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe. If that's the same one. You're unaware of the changes? Okay, all right. Well, let's dive over and take a look at it for just a moment. Let's see. Now, I'm not gonna dive real deep into all of it. We're just gonna talk about a few of the more important things, the big major changes. But a patch went through last week on Homecoming. That's the one. Yeah, TEW fan, we talked about it a little bit. I have a video up on my channel. If you want to search, it has a big ban hammer on it. And we talked about exactly what it meant and what it means for Homecoming and for the private servers. But thank you for bringing it up. But we did talk about it, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Time flies. It feels like it was yesterday. But yes, tanker damage, the damage buff cap has been increased from 400% to 500%. Anyone who plays tanker, how are you feeling about the changes so far? So the tanker archetype can theoretically, potentially, dish out some more damage than they could before. The damage buff cap was lowered on brutes from 775% to 700%. This has been implemented. This has went through. It is live on Homecoming as we speak. Let's also take a look at, there's some changes to the AoEs and the cone abilities. Most cones now have a 10 target cap. Most PB AoEs have a 16 target cap. Also, we saw some changes to the mastermind pets. Basically, to sum it up for you, an attempt to make them less dumb. If we read the first sentence or two, mastermind pets, which have been commanded to stay or to go to a location, will hold that position and will not chase after targets or move closer to use powers that are out of range. So in an attempt to stop the suicidal mastermind pets. So it sounds like a few people say it feels glorious, says Zero. Bugbite says more importantly than anything in those notes is that they broke taunt auras and burn. Hopefully, based on feedback, they'll make changes to that if people don't like them. Yes, and also, who brought it up? Mandu. There have been some changes to the pets for illusion control. Let's see, where was that at? Yes. New customization options for Phantom Army. You can actually mirror and make a copy of your current character's costume, and it will transition over to your Phantom Army. So they can look just like you, just a bunch of you running around. So some big changes. If you want to go take a look, there's also some changes to the Fury generation for brutes. A lot of brute and tanker changes in this patch. But if you want to check them out, head over to the Homecoming site. Lots of big changes in that patch. And some more coming up real soon that they're already talking about. So we'll see how it goes. Hello, my name is Nick, and I have a problem. Nicholas, you've taken the first step. I'm proud of you, man. I personally already knew that you had a problem, but there might be others here who were unaware. So that's just kind of a brief rundown on the patch notes. Obviously, I didn't go real in depth. I want to ask you guys, what's something that you would like to see them change or add in a future patch? Let's kind of get an idea. Now, I'm not talking huge content patches here. I'm talking little tweaks. Are there any little tweaks or changes that you guys would like to see put into the game? We're talking realistically here. I'm not talking like new incarnate trials or new task forces, increasing the level cap. I kind of consider that outside the realm of possibility right at this moment. But obviously they can tweak and change numbers and whatnot in the game. Mastermind pet customization. That's a big one, Temp. That is definitely a big one. A lot of people would love that. Blitz Falcon. How have you been, man? You've been playing some of those scary games on Twitch. I saw you playing Silent Hill the other night. I was watching you at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Real spooky stuff. Zero's middle name is Tanker. Absolutely. It is. I immediately felt it too when I realized it's next to impossible to hold aggro on a farm now. Yeah, and that's where we definitely have to make your voice be heard. You know, leave some constructive criticism and feedback, and hopefully they'll make changes based off of that. Larger supergroup. I actually do I do kind of agree. I realize they doubled it from 150 to 300, but I just think they should go ahead and bump it up to like 999. In today's day and age, with streamers, content creators, and just the ability to hold social gatherings and events in the game because you can post it on Reddit or Facebook and whatnot, supergroups can be fairly large. And I think that's just a sign of the times. Things have changed, right? So I think they should just bump it up to 999. Just saying. That's my opinion. Fix farming now that they broke it. Yep. Again, we'll just have to be vocal and provide feedback on it. Let's see. Illusion on Dominators. Interesting, 𝗕Lavinia. That'd be a pretty cool change. I'd like to see more costume pieces. That is doable. Feel that is. Obviously, they could elaborate even more to an already great character creator, probably the greatest character creator known to man in the MMO universe, right? So that would be pretty cool. Okay, so you guys have some really good suggestions. I like it. Now let's also talk about. We'll hurry so we can get to the phone calls. I want to hear you guys. I want you guys to be able to call in tonight. Bring up the cap on influence. Yes, please. Please. I realize there's probably there's a somewhere you have to draw the line where they're trying to balance the economy, right? And, well, I say that. Does really limiting the influence cap, what are some negatives or positives to limiting the influence cap? What do you really gain out of that? Because people find workarounds, right? I saw people place bids on things as holding. I've saw lots of different workarounds for stacking up influence. Ghostfish, how are you? Ken? Good to see you guys. Technical limitations. I guess that could be the case. I don't know what kind of backdoor things go on with that. I'm not a coder, so I don't know. Yes, again, it will potentially affect the economy in some sort of way, right? Whether that be good or bad, depending on how you look at it. CoH is such a sensitive game. Yeah, especially with the way that apparently, as we all know, the coding was done in the past. Some things that could potentially be simple could be a little more difficult. And also, again, keep in mind that with any of these private servers, these are not teams of people that this is their full-time job, right? They're not getting paid some kind of salary to develop this game. As far as I know, they're all volunteers doing it in their spare time. They're not full-time game designers, is what I'm getting at. That's true, inflation, Cypher. Very good point. Yep. Now, next up, let's talk about the primalist archetype and if you guys would actually like to see it on the homecoming servers. Now, who's aware of the primalist archetype? Anybody? Was anybody? Let me show you a picture of the icon for it. Now, this is a screenshot, so the quality on this is not that great. Let me just show you that and see if you were aware of it. You see that green circle right there that has an image of, I'm guessing a wolf is what that looks like. How many of you are aware of the primalist archetype? We're gonna dive into it a little bit because someone has finished it up as of about a week ago, and it can be implemented in test servers. I'm actually in the process. Let me go ahead and just let you know real quick. Starting next week or the week after, I'm planning on having some videos up testing out the primalist archetype. I'm either going to go live and test it, and you guys can be like, PG, try this, or I'm going to post videos about it. I'm in the process of setting up my own City of Heroes private server so I can implement in the primalist archetype into the coding and whatnot. And I'm actually about 75% of the way done with this. So this is pretty exciting stuff. I'm just now mentioning it today. But let's take a look at the primalist archetype. And the reason I feel comfortable referring to the Paragon Wiki on this is because the guy who implemented all the coding and did everything for it said that he did go off of this. So the way they kind of already had it set up, that is what he decided to go off of. So this could be fairly accurate when talking about the primalist archetype. Now, the primalist archetype, the best way to describe it, I think 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝐴 actually said it best. Yes, it's a shape-shifting archetype. Its primary power sets are offensive abilities, secondary focuses on defense. Let's take a look. Now, they didn't have a large range of power sets to choose from. Basically, your primary power set was Feral Might, and your secondary was Primal Gifts. Now, let's take a look at what some of these powers actually are. So, you would actually have a couple of different forms that you could be in as a primalist. You would have your human form, so to say. You would also have your wolf form and your panther form. Now, these are not the correct names for it, but it's what your character would actually look like. Basically, think of it kind of as, it's kind of like Savage Melee mixed with Nature Affinity. If you want to use World of Warcraft terms, think of a druid. And maybe even a monk in some cases, because if we take a look at some of these abilities. Now, just to give you an idea, what you do is you focus on building and spending primal energy. So they're almost kind of used like combo points. And the more combo points you have, the more effective the power that you use, that you spend them on, would be. So let's take a look, for instance, at some of these powers. So Brutal Swipe, for instance, this will give you a good idea. You lash out at nearby foes in a single broad strike, hitting up to 5 enemies in a cone in front of you. Now here's where things get interesting. In primal form, so your normal just human form, you will deal smashing damage and you will heal yourself and up to 3 nearby allies for a fair amount of health. In hunter form, which is the wolf form, you'll deal lethal damage and reduce the target's defense. In prowler form, you'll deal lethal damage, cause minor lethal damage over time, and have a good chance to stun. Now, the reason this archetype was dropped, at least what's been said, is that Paragon Studios really just felt like it was too complex by the time they had kind of finished it up. I mean, each power has its own unique ability based on what form you are in. 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝐴, you are amongst friends, like-minded individuals. Trust me, you are very welcome here. Judgment-free zone, 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝐴. So it would be kind of cool, I think. I don't mind the idea of it. Some people are saying there are already other epic archetypes that are out there, but there's not really... I mean, I guess those could be considered shape-shifting, but I like the idea of shape-shifting into some type of animal. I think it's pretty cool. Again, you're going to have your hunter form that you see here. This is a wolf-like creature. And then you're also going to have the prowler form, which is going to be a panther-like creature. So a lot of these, again, these powers focus on when you're in your human form. It will be a damaging attack that also heals others around you. And then when you're in your hunter form, it's going to focus on applying bleeds or dots. And then when you're in your prowler form, a lot of the powers are going to focus on also dots, but then have chances to stun and apply other status effects to enemies and mobs. So what do you guys think about this archetype? The primalist. What do you think about potentially implementing it into Homecoming at some point? Right now, it's not really in the talks for Homecoming, nor do I think that it will be, at least not for a long time. However, Primalist is expected to go live on ThunderSpy Gaming and the 𝗕𝐿𝐿𝐺 private servers by next month or the end of March, is what I'm being told. Now, again, I'm working on my own private server, which is almost complete. And I've touched base with the guy who's been working on the Primalist archetype, and I'm going to be able to implement it into my private server, so you guys will be able to see it in action here on this channel. So I think that's pretty exciting. If anything, I love more options. At the end of the day, I myself am an Altoholic. I love trying out different archetypes and power set combinations, so this just puts even more in there. But they would have to make sure that the correct amount of balance is there, and that when teamed with other archetypes, it doesn't make others just completely pointless. I mean, there are a lot of things that they would have to take into account. Phil says, I'd like to see it in action. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. As I said, in the coming weeks, I'm hoping at the very latest 2 weeks, I can be live streaming and showing you content showcasing the primalist archetype. That way then you can watch it, and then you can decide for yourself what you think about it, how you feel about it. So what'd you guys say? Yes or no? Bugbite says meh. Sorty says it's too niche. TEW fan says cool. Punisher says let's rock this. CoH says I'd play it in a heartbeat. I bet Freddie, what did Freddie say? I bet Freddie would be all over this in a heartbeat. Am I right, Freddie? Being able to shapeshift into a wolf or a panther? Oh, I bet Freddie's all over it. You'd like to see me try it out? All right, Nicholas is down. I don't have a problem. I'll tell you when I've had enough. Hey, Peter. It's okay. Peter, you can admit your addiction and your problem here. Again, you're surrounded by friends and family. But do I think that it gets implemented into Homecoming? Highly unlikely. If it does, we're talking like end of the year kind of thing. Now, there's also the Guardian archetype. How many of you are familiar with the Guardian archetype? There's a couple of different archetypes that are out there that have been in the works. And also people who were just tuning in, we're up to 60 people at the moment. Here in about the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be doing a live giveaway, giving away one of these unopened booster packs. So stay tuned. Hang out for a moment. Yes, we can dive more into the Guardian at some point. I'm not fully prepared to talk about the Guardian at the moment. I came prepared to talk about the Primalist, but not the Guardian. You did try it on Rebirth while it was live. It's not anymore, right? At least from what I've heard. You want to be a bumper. Yeah, the Guardian is another option. So some things are potentially changing in the future. Some new things coming out. So that's the Primalist archetype. What I'd like to do real quick as well, don't worry, we're going to take phone calls in just a moment. I have in front of me 2 unopened booster packs, and we're going to open one of them right now and see what we get. I have been told that holographic cards do exist, and some people told me, you went to Maryville College in 1981? I live like 20 minutes from Maryville College. Augustus. 1981? That's been around a while, hasn't it? Oh, geez. So, I need you guys to send some good juju, cross your virtual fingers, and hope that we get a holographic card because I have never seen one in person. So let's go ahead and do it right now, just live on air. Why the heck not? And see what we get. As you can see, unopened. Unopened. Holo cards do exist. See? Freddie says, got a holographic. I have never seen one in person. Canuck, how are you? Can say one of us. I like it, Mandu. I like the idea. All right. Fresh pack opened up. Let's see what we get. Prove it's not resealed. I don't know. Well, number one, we'll prove it's not resealed because I definitely won't get a holographic. It'll never happen. So let's see. Card number 1. Paragon Blaster. How about this? We'll focus it up close so you guys can see. We'll focus it on the cards. Paragon Blaster for card number 1. I love the artwork. I'm going to be blurry for just a moment, guys, while we show the cards. Fireball. Card number 2. Level Up with Statesman. That's some pretty cool artwork. I like that a lot. Hibernate. Ice Armor. Pretty cool. Reconstruction. Now, some of these are going to sound very familiar. A lot of these are actually powers within the game. Been very busy on Chaos United on Everlasting. Oh, that's cool, Blast Lord. I'm worried about your dad. What happened with your dad, Blast Lord? X-ray beam, yes, from the radiation blast power set. Rick is all too familiar with this one. The art is pretty fire. Yeah, man. I really like it. Reduce, recharge. Can we pull a holographic? Come on. That is an enhancement. An enhancement card. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. One that we are all very familiar with. Hasten. Really cool. What's the artwork on that one? Oh, you can see it on her hands. Can you see the effect right there around her hands? That's pretty cool. Lift. From Gravity Control. Next up is Stratosphere. Pretty cool card. And lastly, is it a holographic? I know I'm blurry. Is it a holographic card? Drum roll. It is not. Deflection Shield. Now see, if I had planned this, if the pack was not sealed, I definitely would have slid a holographic card up in there. Still, no holographic cards for me. Out of all the City of Heroes booster packs I have purchased, no holographic cards for me. Now, out of the 59 people who are still here, we are about to give away the second pack. So here's what we're going to do. If you would like to be considered for this booster pack, it is unsniffed. I'm not going to sniff it. It's unsniffed unless you request sniffed. And a few people have DM'd me. Listen, I'm not going to disclose those conversations. Okay. If you would like to be considered for this pack, we're going to pull up the wheel of prizes in just a moment. I need you to do one thing for me. I need you to put a number 1 in the chat right now. And what we'll do while we wait, we'll play some Jeopardy music. So here's how this works, guys. You put a number 1 in the chat. I have a program that is going to randomly choose 5 names, and we are going to place them on the prize wheel. So just put a number 1 in the chat. Keep putting them. It's going to select 5 names in just a moment. Okay, name number 1 has been selected. Name number 2 has been selected. Number 3 has now been selected. Does it matter if we spam? It will not help your chances. No, it won't. But I found it's best to just let the spam happen. Just let it happen. One more name. Waiting on one more. And we have our 5 names for the wheel. Give me just a moment. I do have to actually type them into the wheel. So let me get that pulled up. And then after that, we're going to take phone calls. Just a heads up. After that, we are taking phone calls. So let me get the wheel up. Now, some of these names I have to abbreviate because the wheel acts kind of weird. So Some of these I may have to shorten. All right, punching them into the wheel right now. Yeah, I'm hoping I fixed it mostly, Keldon, but we'll see. All right, here are the names that are on the wheel of prizes. You have CoH Forever, Zero, Will Miller, Phelios, and Darth triplets. One of you is going to be the lucky winner of an unopened, unsniffed, I'll go grab another one out of the closet, pack of the City of Heroes collectible card game booster pack. All right. So here we go. Announce those names. Just remember how long I've been here for. We might do a second prize. Listen, we might do another giveaway. I really like you guys a lot. Like, I don't just like you. I think I like you guys, okay? So we might do another giveaway after the phone calls. All right? So sniffed or unsniffed, whatever the winner prefers. But here we go. Let's do something cheesy. Like, what can we do? Like, let's spin that wheel. Who's it going to land on? I have no control. My hands are off the keyboard. And the winner of the unopened booster pack is Darth Triplets. Can I get some grants from the PGP members? Remember, one day that person might be you. So just keep that in mind. Darth Triplets, you have won the unopened City of Heroes booster pack, my friend. If I can just get confirmation with a woohoo or a heck yeah or oh my gosh, this is the most amazing day of my life, just some kind of confirmation that you have acknowledged you are the winner. You are still here. There he is. He says, wow, awesome. Dark Triplets, what I need you to do is DM me on Discord, if possible. Are you in the Positive Gamer Discord? I believe you are. See, kids, the dark side is the right path. I mean, he did win. He did. Are you in the Discord, Darth Triplets? What I need you to do is send me a DM. That way I can get your address. Yes, there is a string attached. You do have to send me your address. Maybe I'll show up and hand deliver it to you. I don't know. All right, just send me a DM sometime, Darth Triplets, and I'll get that mailed out to you as soon as possible. All right, my friend, congratulations on that. Could you imagine? You just hear, who is showing up at my house at 3 in the morning? You go wiping your eyes in your robe. You open the door, and I'm like, Darth Triplets! Hey, man, congratulations on the prize. Here you go. See you later. And then I just turn around and get in my car and leave. Would that be weird? That'd be real weird, wouldn't it? I think it would be. Oh, just show up at your house. That's good stuff. All right, so let's hide the wheel for now. We might revisit that later tonight. So for anyone who's on the fence, if you want to stay, if you want to go, at the end of the stream, we might do another giveaway, okay? I still have more packs of cards. I also still have the HeroClix figurines. I might. So what I want to do is we're going to take some phone calls. I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. I'm going to put 3 questions on the table for you to answer tonight. And you can answer all of them or you can answer just one of them. Number 1, what is your favorite Incarnate Trial or Task Force and why? I need some substance behind it on why it's your favorite or your least favorite. We can even bring in least favorite here because, of course, we don't love all of them, right? We're so happy to have our game back and have the opportunity to play again, but some of them are kind of annoying and they're a pain in the booty to run, right? So your favorite or least favorite Incarnate Trial or Task Force and why. And also, population has been declining slightly on the Homecoming servers. It's just facts. It's just the truth, okay? I want to ask you, what keeps you coming back? What keeps you logging in every day or every week? Why do you continue to play this game that we love so much? And the same thing, I need some substance to it. And with that out of the way, we'll get the phone line opened up. For me, I'll answer. Listen, okay, I'll give you guys an opportunity, some time to think about it for just a second. I'll answer it because it's not fair for me to ask you guys and for me to not answer it. So I'll answer the what keeps me coming back. What keeps me coming back is the amount of emphasis this game puts on teaming up. I play MMOs to play with friends and family, to group up with others. It's massively multiplayer. Everyone playing together, right? When you look at games like Star Wars: The Old Republic, fantastic game, by the way. When you're just doing regular groups content, when you're running flashpoints and things, they're equivalent of dungeons or missions, or not missions, but kind of like task forces, I guess, whatever you want to call it. 4 people. 4 people on the team. Look at World of Warcraft. 5 people on the team. How many people can you have on the team in City of Heroes? So the emphasis is there on teaming and grouping up, and I just love that so much. It really the game is set up to focus on teaming, and I love that. That keeps me coming back to this game. Obviously, I'm playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I've still been playing WoW occasionally. I know it's a dirty word, okay? But the teaming and grouping, the focus on it in this game keeps me coming back. And, of course, the obvious answer, all of you guys, keeps me coming back to this game. So you can actually call in and discuss this. You can feel free to put it in the chat if you're not comfortable calling in. Don't feel pressured to call into the show. But the phone number is right up above my head, 865-235-1489. If it asks for your name, it might. I don't know if it's going to. I might have fixed that before. You can just say whatever. You don't have to say your real name. You can say your YouTube name. You can say nothing at all. It's up to you. My IRL friend Kyron is here. You need more people on Archetype:G Unchained. Looks like an interesting game. I've never played it though. What do you think about it, Kyron? Teresa's here. Sorty's favorite incarnate trial is the Mothership raid. Tell me why, Sorty. What is it about it that you love Ricky Mothership raids? Please say your name, whatever. Yeah, it's going to tell me. When you call in, it's going to say on the phone is blank, and it's going to tell me your name. So, let me get the phone line opened up. Love whooping that alien scum. But welcome anybody that's new here to your first Altoholics Anonymous meeting. 64 people at the moment. That's awesome. Feel free to, we discuss anything and everything City of Heroes, and we're opening up the phone line as we speak. But if I can just have people answer one of those 2 questions, of course we can small talk and talk about some other things. But I do want to know one of those 2 things. Your favorite or least favorite incarnate trial or task force, and why. And what keeps you coming back to this game. One of those 2 questions. Okay. Phone line should be open right about now. And our first caller. That did not take long. And just kidding, it broke. Hold on. Oh. All right, try again. $235-1489. There we go. All right, let's take our first call.
Call from
Hello, hello. Is this Carol?
Yes, it is.
It is Carol. How are you doing tonight? Everybody knows who Carol is in the chat, right?
Yep, they should.
But how you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
All right. So which question? When we can small talk, of course, as well. But which one of the questions did you want to answer? Your favorite incarnate trial or task force, or least favorite, and or what keeps you coming back to the game? I know you haven't played a whole lot recently, right?
Right. The second topic is part of something I want to touch on a little bit later.
Okay.
But I will say that my least favorite task force has to be the Synapse, because so many clockwork, so many.
And it takes so long to run it, right?
Yes.
I think the last time I ran it, when it was the weekly strike target, how long did it take, guys? Keldon probably remembers. I think that it took us like 3 or 4 hours. It was almost the entire stream for one task force.
Yeah, it's long,
And
very long.
I've always thought that I like the clockwork. I think they're a cool enemy to fight. I like the models. I like the way they look. But I think by the time you get through the Synapse Task Force, you're over it. Like, you would be fine if you never saw another clockwork in the game ever again.
Exactly.
So good choice.
Exactly.
Good choice. Going with the least favorite. I expected most people to say their favorite. Going with the least favorite right off the bat. I like it. I like it. So what else did you say you wanted to touch on? As I mentioned, I know you had said that you have not been playing a whole lot lately. I know you've joined in some of the Old Republic streams, which has been a blast, because you actually hopped on and helped us with the world boss hunting we did the other night, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. And you're one of the more experienced SOTOR players, because I think we only have a handful of people that are at the level 75 cap, and you're one of them.
Yep. I've actually been playing the Old Republic for about 6 years.
Oh, geez. So, yeah, I could learn a thing or two from you then, because I'm going on like week number 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. What was it you wanted to touch on?
Well, I'm not going to, speak long, because I know a lot of people want to get in the call, but I just wanted to say that the reason why I haven't been playing City of Heroes all that much is because, it's been a bit of a rough experience lately. I haven't been feeling as welcomed in the City of Heroes community as I used to be. I'm not going to, name any names of drama and all that, but it's just, I feel as if I need to expand my gaming horizons with other games, because when I first found City of Heroes, that's all I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some things happened that really sobered what I was doing in terms of just playing City of Heroes. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been playing, why nobody has really been seeing me on the game as much as they used to. But obviously, I'm still going to be playing the Old Republic and supporting the PGP, the channel, and of course you. It's just, I need to be in other games.
I got you. Hey, and I want to make it known that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know that at the moment we're talking about City of Heroes and it's the Altoholics Anonymous meeting and whatnot, but you know that I always encourage people to play lots of games. There's all sorts of games out there, fun times to be had all around in different universes, right? And you're always going to run into some rude people. You're going to run into people that pick at you and poke at you and whatnot. But I can promise you that you are surrounded by lots of friends and family and people who do look forward to grouping with you and hanging out with you in the game, just so you know.
Right. And of course, obviously, I'm still going to be playing the Old Republic with you, because that is one of my favorite games. That's actually the first MMO RPG game that I still have a subscription on, because
Nice.
that's the first game that I found and I actually really enjoyed. So when you said that you were playing it, I was like, yeah, I'm getting into this, so I can actually help PG with this, because I've been playing this a very long time. So.
Well, exactly. I know who, when I have questions, I know who to ask. So.
I'll try my best to answer them. I'm a little bit rusty because I haven't played in a while. So.
All right, Carol. I appreciate you calling in, and
of course.
I appreciate the input, answering the question. Again, least favorite TF is Synapse, and I think most people here are probably going to agree with you. So I appreciate you calling in, Carol.
All right. You take care of yourself.
Have a good night. You too, my friend. So that was Carol in the chat. Can you guys thank Carol for calling in, breaking the ice? Sometimes in these streams, it takes a minute for people to actually call in, because I know this. I say this isn't the norm. I guess there are lots of podcasts. By the way, if you see me moving around everywhere, I'm taking my socks off. I don't know how often other City of Heroes content creators do podcasts. I don't know if that's a thing. I really don't know. But definitely one thing I want to make known in this, because again, I know we poke a lot of fun and we're like Altoholics Anonymous and we're addicted to this game and creating alts. It's okay to take a break from this game or from any game. If you guys want me to be fully transparent and honest with you, which I always am, try to be anyways, if you'll notice, I've been streaming City of Heroes once or twice a week instead of 3 or 4 times, excuse me. So we are still streaming it several times, but you'll notice it's a little bit less. And I do that with all games that I play. This is something that I personally do, where the way that I kind of space out my time when I play them a lot of times allows me to play them for long periods of time without ever experiencing any type of burnout. There is a chance that you could experience burnout with this game or with any game. And don't let it make you feel bad because the game was gone and now it's back. So you feel like you have to play it, right? Does anybody else feel that way? Because I say it all the time, where I'm like, I feel like I'm not taking full advantage of this opportunity that has been laid in my lap starting in 2019 with this game that I love so much finally being back. I used to say I would give anything to play this game, right? And now the opportunity is here. But don't let it make you feel bad if you need to step back and take a short break or a small break from playing it. And then you come back better than ever and even more pumped to try new things in the game. Anyways, I'll rant and go on forever. So the phone number, if someone else wants to call in, is right here above my head. It is going to ask for your name when you call in. I'm really getting, not that I was tired of the game in the first place, but I have rediscovered, listen, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. I started a beam rifle empathy corruptor named 𝗕𝗏𝗠𝗠 Man. 𝗕𝗏𝗠𝗠 Man. Yes. Spelled just how it sounds, and it is so good. Next phone call.
To accept, press 1. To
It's
send a
𝗕𝐴𝐵uzz.
voicemail, press 2.
It's 𝗕𝐴𝐵uzz. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, okay. 𝗕𝐵uzz is going to think that I hung up on him on purpose. I didn't, 𝗕𝐵uzz. I wasn't quick enough on my trigger finger with pressing number 1 to accept your call. So if you want to call back in. 𝗕𝗏𝗠𝗠, let me spell it out for you. No, Bugbite has it. 𝗕𝗏𝗠𝗠𝗠 Man. Yes, maybe I'll show him off before we end the stream. But I figured that would be an interesting combo. Who does beam rifle and empathy? How often have you seen that? Be honest with me. How often have you seen beam rifle and empathy corruptor? Hello, Mr. 𝗕𝐵𝐵uzz.
Can't believe you, of all people, would deny my call straight up like this.
Yep. I looked, it said press 1 to accept the call or 2 to send a voicemail, and I said, oh, I know which number I'm picking.
All right, well, that's the end of the conversation, my man.
Yeah, to mess with me, you should have hung up just now.
Well, yeah, but then I have to call back. I don't want to do that.
That's true. So, which one of these do you want to talk about? You could pick one, or you could do both. Your favorite and or least favorite Incarnate Trial or Task Force, and why, or what keeps you coming back to City of Heroes. And it doesn't even mean it has to even be consistently. It could be you've not played in 2 weeks, but then you came back to it. Then you didn't play for a month, but then you came back to it. So Up to you.
All right. I think I can probably do both. For the Incarnate Trials, I only recently got into it, so I really haven't played enough. So I guess my least favorite are the ones I haven't played. I really like, but the one I did like was the one with Dr. 𝗕𝗓𝗓. That whole storyline, that was really fun. I'd never experienced that before, so it was cool to see all the interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what else there is to offer, so if you ever do any more Incarnate Trials, I might actually be able to join in.
Yes. Yeah, we
my man freestyle up in the ranks.
All right. Yeah, we do Incarnate Trials every Saturday. So anytime you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. We usually run more than one. I typically run 3, 4, or 5 of them, even in the same night. This last week was an exception because we ran Minds of Mayhem, which has a lot of different phases, and there's different little parts to it. So it was fairly complicated. Both teams, we had 2 attempts to successfully complete it. And it took 4 hours to complete 2 runs for Minds of Mayhem. But typically we'll run 4 or 5 every Saturday night. So you are absolutely more than welcome to join us.
Luckily it's Saturday. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd hang around that long. That's a lot. But all right, that sounds cool. And the other one was What Keeps Me Coming Back, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've played this game ever since I was a wee toddler, so it's just fun to play. But I really enjoy playing it with friends specifically. I love, I've done a duo stream of Positive Gamer numerous times, so I really enjoyed that. But no, it's fun. It's fun to play the game. I introduced a couple of my friends to it, and Matthew, particularly, one of them, really loves the game. So he's always bugging me like, yo, play City of Heroes. Let's do it.
Hop on and play with me.
What'd you say?
I said hop on and play with me, right?
Yeah, I know, man. That's the goal. He always loves playing, though. And I particularly like doing, theme kind of things. So we'll hop on, then we'll hop on some random characters that we normally play, and then we'll all of a sudden come up with this crazy idea of, like, dude, what if we just did janitors? And then we'd all just, light up and be like, that's an amazing idea. And then we completely abandon what we're doing, and then we play those dumb characters for, a day and then forget about them. Sometimes they stick, but most of the time they don't.
Right.
Like, the other day we made StarCraft characters, and those are pretty fun. And, my City of Villains Mastermind video, that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
We haven't really returned to those characters, though. We kind of just left them be. But Matthew's always complaining to me. He's like, dude, I want to play Pan, his Mastermind, really badly. But we haven't been able to get everybody on yet. But I think it's really fun to just do little silly things.
Yep.
That big old Mastermind stream you had. That was 48 Masterminds?
Yep.
That was insane.
And we had to turn some people away. I think at the end, by the time we really tallied everything up, it was around 54 to 56 masterminds total.
Jeez. Well,
and
didn't we 2 leagues? I thought I remember.
I think someone had started up a second league, I believe. Yep. And that's what's cool is they're like you mentioned though, where you talk about starting up kind of a new character and then dropping it and then starting another one and dropping it, is you can have fun from the get-go in this game. Like right off the bat, you can group up with people. There's the side kicking system where it bumps people up. So you can hop in and experience the game and have fun from the jump. I love that about it. Luckily, a lot of other MMOs are catching on, and they're starting to do things like that, where you can group up with higher level people and it bump you up. But for the longest time, City of Heroes was one of the few MMOs that actually offered that.
Yeah, that's why I really don't play as many other MMOs, is because this one's so much better. They have so much more to offer. I never realized how much 50 content there was until I started playing it, and I doubt I'm anywhere near exploring all of it. I've been working towards getting my Incarnate abilities. I think I learned about Incarnate last week, and I've been doing a lot of farming this past week as well. So I've gotten to vet level 23, and it's pretty insane. I didn't realize how much people grind in this game. I had one dude give me 200 million influence just because he felt like it, just because he wanted to be nice, help me out.
It happens in this game. Not many others, but it happens in this one.
Yeah, people just love new players and to be able to help them out because they want more people to join in.
Yep, exactly.
I guess I'm not very strong, but I was able to help him a little bit. I'd follow him around and just wave my little fire sword at him, like, I got you guys, doing no damage at all. But it was still really fun.
All right, 𝗦𝗚𝗚𝗏.
So many reasons that I love it. I could not list them all.
I appreciate you calling in, my friend, caller number 2. And I appreciate it, man.
No problem. 𝗬𝗠𝗏 in the stream?
What was your question?
Is 𝗬𝗠𝗏 in the stream?
I think he says he went to bed, but if someone mentions his name, he'll show back up. Just watch. 𝗬𝗠𝗏. Okay, now give him just a second. Hold on. Give him a second, and he'll put something. Hold on. Let's give him a second. There he is. Hi. Yes, he is.
I just like to give you a little bit of trash talk on stream.
Oh, no.
About, how I beat you twice in a free-for-all. I mean, it's not a competition or anything. I just remember him bragging, and But that Halo stream was super fun. I'm glad we got to do that.
A little friendly competition going on. Nothing wrong with that. That's especially part of first-person shooters when we talk about Halo and Overwatch and Call of Duty, and it's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. You guys were all better than me. Let's just go ahead and put it out there, okay? Everyone was better than me last night on Halo. It is what it is. All right, 𝗦𝗚𝗏. I appreciate you calling in.
Was it your first time returning to the game, or no?
What was that?
Was it your first time returning to the game? I thought you said you played it the night before a little bit.
I played like 2 matches the night before, and that was it.
Yeah, it took me a while to get it. I think that's why.
It does. But I didn't want to make any excuses for myself. It is what it is. So, but I appreciate you calling in, 𝗦𝗚𝗏. I'm going to move on to the next caller.
All right, sounds good.
All right, have a good night, my friend.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. So that was 𝗦𝗚𝗏. Everybody knows 𝗦𝗚𝗏, right? Never you love beam and traps, though. Yeah, see, I don't think many people pair empathy with beam rifle, but I love the idea, for those of you who have played beam rifle, I love the idea of managing the disintegrate mechanic to maximize my DPS and work with the extra bonus effects that you get from it, from having it on mobs, while also healing my teammates. Like, how cool is that? Like, it's like a pure pew-pew damage power set paired with the healing and buffing and deep. Like what? I love it. Let's take the next call. Hello. Is this Freddie?
Yes, it is. Hey, PG. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing tonight?
Honestly, I've had a tough week, but at least I'm here with you guys. And to be honest, that's all that really matters right now to me. So.
Hey, you're surrounded by friends and family, like-minded individuals, judgment-free zone.
I know.
So we're happy to have you
call these anonymous meetings. So
I love them.
I'm happy we're doing this again.
I love them. I love being able to put, which I know your voice because you've called in multiple times. But I love being able to put a voice with a profile picture and hear what you guys sound like. One day we're all going to meet in person. All right. It's gonna be required, or you get banned or something, right? And I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do anything extreme like that. But maybe one day we can all meet up. I think it would be cool.
That would be really, really cool. I'm watching the chat right now, and everybody's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yep.
Hey guys.
So this is Freddie. We have on the phone, by the way. So Freddie, which one of these questions would you like to answer? You can answer one or both. Favorite incarnate trial or TF and why, or least favorite. And or what keeps you coming back to City of Heroes?
Honestly, I think I can answer both.
Okay.
Now, the answer to the first question should be kind of obvious if you know me. Like, obviously, my favorite TF and ITF are the Dream Doctor Task Force and Dilemma Diabolic specifically.
I had a gut feeling.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, what's more fun than going into the belly of an outer god? Like,
Exactly.
It's something about it. It's like
Just
the Cthulhu mythos. It
taking
has that mystery to it.
Taking consistent damage, like what's more fun than that? Getting ambushed consistently over and over? I mean, come on. It's good fun.
Oh my gosh. I freaking love going inside of Mod. It's like the best part of both task forces because you're basically trapped in a corner.
Yep.
And the whole thing, like when I was able to actually get on 𝗕𝗏𝗣𝗏𝗖𝗛𝗐 with you guys, like the part where everyone gets killed, like toward the end of the ITF and then respawns at Diabolic, that was shocking to me. Like I didn't know that was a thing, and honestly, it startled the heck out of me. It really did.
Yeah, it'll freak you out the first time you run it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can kind of understand why now that I'm looking back on it, but it just the way they do that. And, like, so many... They're very creative, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's why I love those particular task forces.
Now, I do have to ask you, I know you're going to answer the second question, and I know that you were very vocal about it in the chat, but I feel like if on Homecoming the primalist archetype went live, I can almost guarantee that you would be top 5 people. You would be one of the first 5 people to create a character with that archetype. I can almost guarantee it, if not the first person to create it. Am I right, or am I right?
Yes. You're definitely on the money. I already have an idea for a character. They just have to hurry up and put it in the game.
Now, one of those powers, I didn't talk about it. One of the powers, I believe you get a pet as well, which is also a wolf, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Call of the Wild summon wolves. So you could literally, you could transform, shapeshift into a wolf, and then also have, it says 2 wolves by your side to aid you in combat. So 3 of you as wolves, you being a wolf, running around fighting things. How cool would that be? Or you could be a panther. You could shapeshift into a panther, and then I believe they still stay as wolves, it looks like. So you could be like the lead panther with the wolf minions. That would be pretty crazy.
Nothing makes me smile more than the idea of having my own wolf pack and chewing on people's groins. Like,
there you go. I mean, they're. I'm pretty
I'll
sure
be the ankle biter.
There are a couple of powers that the description talks about using your teeth and biting people and things. So there you go. But I think it would be pretty cool. I'm hoping that I can finish the setup of this private server because, like I said, I'm about 75 to 80% done. I've got to do a couple of technical tests and stuff on it, and then I'll be able to showcase that power set right here on this channel. So I think that'll be really cool.
I'm excited to see that, honestly. I really do want to see more of how that particular AP works. Like, I'm excited. I really am.
And plus, all of the powers are in green. And the archetype logo is in green, so you know I gotta play it. I mean, it's my favorite color. It's everything on the channel is in green. So
yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about also then what keeps you coming back to City of Heroes, if you're willing to share.
Yeah,
Are you still there? Hello?
Hello? Oh my gosh. Can you hear me now?
Whoa! Yes. Sorry, that was
See,
super loud.
I told you my phone was acting up. Woo! I told you my phone was acting up. I'm sorry.
You just gave me a heart attack, Freddie.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know what's up with my phone. It just does that occasionally. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, I've been dealing with a lot of burnout too with City of Heroes, and it's not that the game has changed any. I still love the game just as much. It's just with playing it so long and mood swings and all that and depression, it tends to it gets stale, I guess.
And we're all human, and that happens.
Yeah. So I've been trying to branch out to other games, but what keeps me coming back to City of Heroes specifically is you guys. If I didn't have any friends, like back when I was in live, I wouldn't touch the game anymore because it's not fun playing alone. You guys make the experience for me so much better, legitimately. Even if I can't get onto every stream, like, I still try to pop in because I care for you all very deeply, so.
And that's crazy how big of an impact, when you think about it, that just having friends to play a game with can have. Because as you said, it's obviously, you love City of Heroes, it's a good game, but really that fun level goes from here to up here. If you, I don't know if you have the screen pulled up, but you can't see my hand. All right, it's off the screen. It takes the fun level to it just, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just an entirely different game when you have a lot of friends and family members to play it with.
Yeah, I mean, what sucks the most about being back in the game is my parents no longer have time to play. Like, my dad's computer freaking broke, so he can't even play if he wanted to, which is really upsetting. Yeah. So I kind of only have you guys to play with. So, you know, every week when you have City of Heroes streams, I get super excited because I'm like, yes, finally I can come back and play with my buddies. Yes, finally.
I'm super pumped. Are you going to be able to make it to the Incarnate Trials again this Saturday?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, normally I'm at my dad's house, but, like, they understand that I'm playing with you guys and I enjoy playing, so they don't bug me if I pull my laptop out and turn the game on. So, yes.
Sweet.
Also, I wanted to ask you, this is obviously off topic, but since I have you on the phone, I wanted to ask you, are you thinking of ever streaming Pokemon again?
Potentially, yes. But I don't know for sure. I'm going to be 100% honest. I actually enjoyed it a lot. And I think that was very apparent even just from people who hung out in the stream with how much fun I was having. But what happened is, I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to me streaming content, I play lots of different games. But when it comes to me streaming content, I prefer to stream MMOs. And I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know what it is. I feel like most of the audience, most of you guys prefer watching MMO content. And I kind of prefer streaming MMO content. I did play it a little bit off stream, but I didn't play it a whole lot. Mostly because I've been so busy playing other games, honestly, is kind of what it comes down to. So potentially, yes. Would it be in the near future? Probably not. It'd probably be later on down the road.
Okay. I mean, the main reason why I asked, and, you know, kind of why I'm curious, is because I own Pokemon Sword now. So, like, if you did decide to stream it again, I could join up with you and play.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we could battle sometime. I would need to increase the power of my current Pokemon. I don't even remember which ones I had. I know I had a Gyarados. I don't even remember the starter I went with. I think it was the monkey one. I've already forgot his name. And we named him TikTok. I can't remember which one. I'll have to look at it again. But yeah, maybe in the future we can definitely play together. I'd like that.
That would be awesome. I mean, I've pretty much completed the story, and I have at least one level 100 Pokemon.
Oh, geez. Like, okay, well, you're way ahead of me then.
Yeah, at some point, eventually, I'd love to play Pokemon with you if you ever get the chance to stream it again.
Yeah, and even if I don't stream it, maybe we can still link up and play it at some point, because we're both on the Discord. So maybe we can link up and play sometime.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. It really would.
All right, Freddie, I appreciate you calling in tonight and answering both of the questions that we had on the table. And you know, it's always a pleasure. I don't know that you've missed an Altoholics Anonymous meeting. I feel like for the most part, you've been one of the people that's called in every time and been here. And I really greatly appreciate that, because I know these are very different. Because a lot of people are looking for gameplay and they're like, what the heck is this? Why is PG's face on the screen and all this? So I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, well, I really like talking with you and, you know, allowing everybody else to hear my voice, because I don't get to talk often, and it's something that I need to do more of. So I've been trying to hit every single AA meeting that you post.
Yeah,
So.
because I know I mentioned I like being able to put a face, not a face either, not a face or a vase, a voice, a voice with a profile picture. And I forget that it's not just me that's able to do that. Everybody here is able to do that as well. So that's really cool, I think.
Yeah, these are definitely a lot of fun, for sure.
All right. I like putting faces with faces. Apparently, I like putting vases with faces, I guess. But thank you for calling in tonight, Freddie.
Yeah, of course. And I wish all of you the best for the rest of the week. I love you all. Please stay determined. You got me in your corner.
I'll see you on Saturday, Freddie, or maybe even before then.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Right, have a good night. Why was I messing that up so much? Vases? Faces? No, voices. What am I talking about? Grookey. That's it, Ken. Grookey. The monkey. Yes. I really want to see new content, so I'm hoping Homecoming strikes that deal with NCSoft. I discussed that a little on that video I posted. We could talk about it a little. I don't think that is in the cards. I don't think that will ever happen. Is my opinion. It's a very unpopular opinion, actually. Oh, we've got 0. What? 0, call back in. I told it to pick up the phone. I pressed number 1 and the lady said, okay, I'm sending him to voicemail. 0, call back in, my friend. But I personally, since this is a live stream environment and we can talk about it, I do not think that there will ever be a deal with NCSoft and any private server. I just don't think that it makes sense for NCSoft to do that. I also don't think that they'll ever shut any of them down. Because think of it this way. What do they gain from that? Other than spending money and making a handful of people angry. Because you have to think of it this way. How many people, let's use Homecoming, the most populated private server, right? How many people on a super busy night play City of Heroes on Homecoming? 3,000? 2,500? Now, is that a lot of people for us to game with and play with? Absolutely, it is. But is it worth it to NCSoft to pursue it? This will cost them some money. It will cost them time. To shut down a private server for what would be considered a small handful of people. I understand they have to protect things that are theirs, their trademarks and their IP and whatnot, which they've done so. They've filed these things. But is it really worth it? I mean, really, you know? Do we have 0 on the line?
Okay, I have a problem.
Uh-oh.
I can't stop making 50s.
Can't stop making 50s. Listen, my friend. Go ahead.
I'm on like my 24th or 25th 50.
Well, lucky for you, you are in the right stream. You found the right group of people to talk to about this problem. I do want to go ahead and warn you that I'm probably going to encourage you and not in the way that you think. The man, 0, the man with the plan, the man who is always ready and willing to tank anything and everything. Take an absolute beating. The man is a meat shield in every game that he plays. He runs to the front of the line and says, "Hit me, please." All right. So how you doing?
I guess this will kind of lead into my next question. Comment. Because you just said it. As someone who plays tankers a lot and plays brutes, the tanker buff feels amazing. The damage output is, I can tell it's there.
So you can actually tell the difference, right, when you're playing it? I don't play a tanker,
Let me give you an example.
Okay, perfect.
For example, I just made a new tanker, obviously, that's Invul and Titan weapons. last night I ran not last night, a couple I think Monday. I ran a 𝗕𝗓𝗔𝐓 arc to get my portal jockey badge. And during a fight with an arch-villain boss, I used build-up, used rend armor, and did 1,651 points of damage on a tanker. The buff is felt.
Because
it was nice.
I'm having a lot of people say that they can really feel the impact. That's up. The damage buff cap increase from tankers, if anybody wasn't here earlier in the stream, was bumped up from 400% to 500%. And most tankers, there are some other things that they are complaining about with the taunting and whatnot. But as far as the damage output, they're pretty happy about it.
Yeah, but the taunting needs to be a little bit fixed. Because I taunt people and they'll just run away from me. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm a nice juicy meat shield. Hit me.
And hopefully that will be something that they address and they change, because again, that patch has been live for roughly a week, and then they'll take feedback from that, and then hopefully take the constructive criticism and hopefully be ready and willing to make changes. I feel like they do, for the most part, listen to the community. It might take a little bit longer than, let's say, if there's an outbreak of people being upset with the change in, let's say, World of Warcraft, right? Because their forums are getting slammed with millions of people complaining about it. Homecoming, it might take a little bit longer. It's a smaller group of people that aren't doing this for a living, for their full-time job.
Yeah.
So people have to be a little understanding. But I like that they're willing to make some of these changes.
Believe me, I'm more than understanding with this. I'm happy with the buff, in all honesty. The damage output feels nice.
Someone is asking, Jeremiah would like to know, which one of your tankers is your favorite? Since you do play tanker a lot, which power set combo?
Oh, power set? Easily Stone. Easily Stone.
Okay.
Granite Armor is my favorite power set and power in the game. But I like the powers. But I've been kind of bouncing between two tankers for the past couple weeks. The one that you know, Hyperguard.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new one, who's actually he's actually a Praetorian version or an alternate reality version of my first tune. My first tune was a 𝗕𝐽𝐶 regen scrapper. This version is an invul Titan weapons tanker.
Ooh. I have messed around with Titan weapons a little bit, and it is pretty fun.
It's slow. At first, to be honest, I hated it at first because it was slow.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll give you my impersonation. I'll give everybody my impersonation of Titan weapons, all right? I don't know if you can see the screen or not.
I can.
Listen, this is Titan weapons, at least early on, okay? Now, imagine, and this is for people who maybe haven't played Titan weapons, haven't teamed with Titan weapons, or maybe you don't play the game and you're stopping in to try to figure out what this game is about. And you're like, PG, what the heck is Titan weapons, okay? Take this pin and picture it being the size of my body, okay? Like the weapons are huge. They're huge, maybe even bigger than your character, depending on the size you make them, okay? Now, imagine you clicked on one of your powers, okay, to swing this Titan weapon. Here it goes. This is a reenactment of you using your power. Here we go. Weapon out. Boom! Gone. And
that would be utter destruction.
Yes, the timing there is accurate. Okay, so
if you need a better description, think of Cloud with his Buster Sword from Final Fantasy.
Oh, but people complain that it's a little bit slow sometimes, at least early on. At first,
I hated it when I first tried it. I was like, "This is so slow. Just give me back my battle axe."
Right.
And then I tried it, and I got it to good levels. I'm like, I can work with this.
Yeah, you just have to give it some time, stick with it, hang with it. If you like having a big weapon and smacking stuff in the face with it, it's definitely a power set you need to check out.
I had a feeling you'd say something about the tank things, considering what I do.
Yeah.
My favorite trial actually is not an incarnate trial or a task force. It's actually, I believe hold on. I'm actually in game. Give me 1 second to go look for it.
Okay.
I think it's the Soul of the Woodsman. Or no, it's Prisoners of Eden. Prisoners of Eden is my favorite trial.
That's a good one. Now,
Because
there you go.
Because my old granite armor, I say granite armor because the other stones are only used to power the granite. If you build it right. The granite armor tank, I had a granite armor battle axe brute. And I remember when I hit 50, I would always type in looking for group chat, level 50 granite armor battle axe brute looking for group. And every single trial I'd get was Prisoners of Eden.
Okay.
And I actually like the concept of like going through all these holes and stuff like that. And
yeah.
it just
It's a big open cave instead of the tiny
exactly
the tight corridors that we're used to seeing with enemies getting stuck all up in the ceiling and in the side of the wall and constantly turning around and going and running into stuff. It's wide open.
Yeah, it's just one I have a fond memory of because I just remember never getting tired of it. It was just fun. It was just charge. It was just, okay, put speed boost on the Grand Tick and go.
Yep.
And as soon as I got speed boost, I was gone.
So also, if you want to answer, up to you. What keeps you coming back to City of Heroes?
I haven't stopped playing.
So in that case, what keeps you logging back in every day? What makes you continue to play it?
The way my mind works, and this is because of City of Heroes. City of Heroes did this to me, and mainly because of just my comic book background. I will make up a character, or like I'll be driving home or something like that. I have a half an hour drive, so I have plenty of time to think. And I'll go, okay, I want a power set, okay, and I just start going through the costume selections in my head. I'm like, okay, now get home. I got the idea. Go. I'm going 65 down US 1, which is the speed limit.
It's kind of nice when you've been playing for a while and you're familiar with most of the power sets and archetypes and combos and whatnot. And like you said, an idea will hit you in your head for like either a theme or just a particular power set combo that you've never tried before. And it's so exciting to get home and actually log in, create that character, and try it.
Exactly. And with the way I work, it'll be 50 within like 3 days. Yeah, I mean, because I've played a lot of these power sets. I haven't played Invul before. I've gotten a gist of it. And I saw Odie actually ask me if Invul's better than Regen. I didn't make it because it was better than Regen. I made it because I wanted to try Invul. That's pure and simple. I want to try different power sets. Because eventually I'm going to get to the point where I can just come into like your stream or someone else's stream and go, okay, what do you need?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to work on as well. And it's why I started the beam rifle, empathy, corruptor. It's why there's a couple of other characters I have in mind. So I literally have, okay, we need another tanker. Okay, no problem. We need some extra range damage. We need somebody who can debuff. Like that way I have several different options in my back pocket, like you said, and I can just switch to whatever's needed.
And I play tank mainly because I'm kind of bloodthirsty.
Fair enough. That's a good reason to play one.
And I don't like seeing my health move at all. If my health goes down, I made a bad tank. I basically want to be an immortal tank, but like we were saying with me being an alcoholic and making several 50s, I was IOing out. I was like halfway done IOing out one when I started the call. That I just got to 50.
There you go. Calling into an Altoholics Anonymous meeting about City of Heroes while playing City of Heroes. Zero, I think you do have a problem, my friend.
But Saturday you'll be meeting my Invul type weapons tanker though.
Nice.
because I couldn't bring him in last Saturday because I transferred Torchbearer for someone else's stream,
Mm-hmm.
and I accidentally used my last server transfer. So I played
Yes.
Hyperguard the rest of the time.
We need revenge on Dilemma because we did not get to accomplish that last week because the whole stream was Minds of Mayhem. And if you remember, we failed one of the Dilemma runs the previous week before that. Now, again, we kind of just threw a group together. We really didn't care I wasn't even looking at level shifts or anything. And a lot of those mobs are 54 plus 2, so it gets kind of intense. But we do need to get revenge on that.
And there were some fresh 50s. And there were some fresh 50s in there. I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna say who.
Well, and I mean, if you think about it, though, we made it to the final boss, though, the last AV. So it's not bad.
I mean, which reminds me.
Are you still there? I wonder if it's on my end. Because you guys know on Freddy's call, where it's almost like it dropped the audio. Like Zero's still on the line. You can, if we're really quiet, you can maybe even hear the static. I can hear the static, but I can't hear him for some reason. Yeah, he can hear me. He can hear me, but I can't hear him. So that must be on my end. Huh. Yep. I don't think it's coming back, Zero. Well, shoot. Well, did you... tell me this. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the phone call, Zero? I know we did get to address both of the questions. We got to talk about your favorite trial, and then got to talk about what brings you back, keeps bringing you back to the game. So if you do have one more thing you want to add, you can definitely call back in. All right, let's see. This may be someone new. This might be someone new, Zero. Let me see. Yes, this is someone new. I'll get back to you, Zero. I promise.
To accept.
Oh my goodness, it's my best friend from Hawaii.
Aloha, my buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Actually, better than ever, if I'm being honest with you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Now, have you
Pardon?
have you called into an AA meeting in the past? I think you did, didn't you? Okay, I was thinking you did. I think that's when you actually explained to me that your name was TEW fan, and I was always saying Q fan.
You have a very good memory.
Sometimes I can use my kidneys up here,
I had a question to ask you.
All right.
Is it just me? I just kind of notice it, or do the clockwork remind you of an evil mini version of TikTok?
Maybe. I could see him kind of being their overlord or their leader. He's sitting on a throne of made of cogwheels and just various different pieces of things that Clockwork are made of, and just sits there as they're all just climbing all over his whole body, and he just sends them out.
I was just looking at them. I'm like, dude, this is like a mini evil version of TikTok.
Fair enough. I've never heard anyone make that comparison. So.
Well, he's a TikTok and they're a Clockwork, so I kind of put two together,
There you go.
They're like them. I think them and the 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝐸 are the two that I hate going up against the most because, well, I hate dying and they like to kill me a lot. So.
Fair enough.
But I just want to call and say hello and aloha, and I look forward to watching you guys all the time, and you guys are entertaining.
I always look, just so you know, I always look for the aloha from you. Pretty much every stream, I'm waiting for it because I know it's coming at some point, whether it be at the beginning, middle, or right there towards the end. I know it's going to be in there, so I'm always waiting for it.
Did I hear correctly, or are you going to start your own server?
Yes, but initially it will just be for me to test some things out on.
Just for a test.
So
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
for now,
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, down the road in the future, what might happen. I would never want to pull people away from Homecoming because it's by far the most populated server, and there's no
So
way
you,
we could compare to that. And also, they've
yeah.
always been really kind to me and welcoming and helped me out with a lot of stuff. But I want to be able to push in some things where I was talking about where I have a guy helping me implement the primalist archetype so I can put it
Right.
on stream and do
sounds like-
videos and
so
stuff.
That sounds so cool. Man, I could get some wolves on.
Yeah, so
That'd be awesome.
that way we can kind of showcase some stuff that's maybe not in the game that could be or
Right,
might be.
right.
Even if it never happens, it's kind of cool to see what maybe even could have been potentially. So I like to explore those options.
So you did, not to change the subject, so you did get to watch that video that Nova put out then.
Yes. Yeah, I did. And I made a video, I think it was 2 days after his, maybe. One or 2 days after his, kind of with my just opinion on it as well with everything.
Right.
And I'd have to, it may sound silly, I'd have to probably watch my own video to remember all of the points that I made about it and everything we talked about. But I did address all of the stuff with the source code and the trademark stuff and all of that with NC
I just
Soft.
thought, though, the interesting one was that right after the first two, they took out a patent on the word City of Heroes 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of interesting. The sad thing is, though, seeing people's responses, and there's so many people, and I can't understand where people are coming from, but there are people that flat outright said that, hey, look, if NC Soft came back, they got back on board, they will not play City Heroes again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, as much as NC Soft did upset me, I mean, I would still play City of Heroes and just about whatever. What's the word for it? Kind of whatever I had to do to play it. Like, let's say hypothetical, something crazy happened, and I know the source code is out there, but I'm just saying, let's say they play Whack-A-Mole and no private server lasts for more than like 2 weeks or something, and they keep getting shut down. And the only option was to play City of Heroes through them. I would be lying to you if I said that I wasn't going to play. I would play it, 100%.
I just think it's basically NC Soft's track record with games in general.
Right. And I think, honestly, and I could be 100% wrong. This is just my opinion on it. I don't think they have any interest in revisiting superhero MMOs. I don't know if people have paid. What? Yeah, go ahead.
You're 100% right. And I have, just because I have a gamer friend from Asia, and he said in Korea, and NC Soft is a Korean company, superhero gaming is basically next to zero. Basically, their genre is fantasy and sci-fi.
Exactly. And I don't know if you've seen the amount of money that they made off of their Lineage mobile MMO that they put out. It made way more money than any of their other MMOs. They have no interest in getting back into superhero games. But I fully expect them to hang on to any rights or any type of stuff they have from any previous games they've had, such as City of Heroes. Because I know a lot of people freaked out and they were like, well, this means that they're not willing to let it go since they're renewing it. They're not going to. They're going to continue. 30 years from now, they're probably going to be renewing the trademark for City of Heroes. They're not going to let it go.
They're not going to let it go. It's theirs. They're not going to give up. They're not going to give it up.
Because at the end of the day, you never know, right? Like they still want to be able to have that in their back pocket. And if they do sell that or they did give it up, then they don't have that option anymore, which is kind of not smart for them given how the minimal cost that would be involved for a company like that to be able to just keep renewing that stuff and hang on to it. Again, personally, a lot of people don't like this opinion. I also don't think they'll give their blessing, so to say, to any private server. I think it makes the most sense for them to back away and just leave it be.
Private servers to go after. There's too many.
Yeah, and again, though, it would be different if, let's say, 100,000 people were playing on Homecoming. Then it's like, wait a minute. Or if Homecoming was making money off of it, if people were getting paid money, was exchanging hands, then that's a totally different situation and scenario. But given the fact
Yeah,
of 2,000 to 3,000 people playing on Homecoming,
yeah.
no one's making any money off of it. Does it really make sense for them to spend the time and the money and the effort they would have to put into to go after it just to make all those City of Heroes fans mad at them again? Because I'm in my video that I did, and then I'll let you talk. I'm sorry, I'm just blabbering away.
No, I'm sorry.
I
kept interrupting.
I talked about the fact that every post that NCSoft put out, I kid you not, you go back to their Twitter and look at last year before Homecoming was out and before City of Heroes came back, every single thing they posted about, they would be like, new Lineage 2 update coming out next week. If there was 20 comments on it, 18 of them were give me City of Heroes back. They could not escape it. They couldn't get away from it because City of Heroes fans were still so upset with them and still holding on to it years and years later. Well, now all of that stopped. And all they have to do is just do nothing about it. It's as simple as that. And I feel like that makes the most sense to me. And like I said, I understand it's a business because people come back at me saying, but that doesn't make sense. It's a business but it's, again, no money's exchanging hands as far as we know. It's a handful of people. It makes the most sense to me for them to they're just going to back away from it.
What I heard, and I can see their point also, is that they were in it to make money, and they, from what I gather, is when they bought City of Heroes, they were hoping to turn it into another WoW, and they was hoping it would take off in Korea, and WoW is a in a lifetime thing. I don't think there's going to be another game that's ever hit.
I agree,
WoW level.
100%.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Ship of Heroes, and that's another game I'm keeping an eye on.
Yep, they're still working away, coding stuff I know nothing about. Casey sends me emails, and he's like, we coded this in with this and this, and I'm like, okay, good deal. Don't know what that means, but sounds exciting.
But not only Ship of Heroes, City of Titans is now going full steam too.
Yeah, I'm all for more superhero MMOs. So
I love superheroes in general. I'm a big superhero nerd.
Me too.
Anyway, I will let somebody else call in, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I enjoy your folks' streams. We got to get together and game and play. The thing being in Hawaii is, a lot of times when I go online, you guys are all sleeping already.
Yep. What time is it right now in Hawaii?
Right now in Hawaii, it is almost 5 p.m.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm about 5 hours ahead of you, roughly.
Yes, and once we go off daylight, you'll be 6 hours ahead of me.
Yep. That's crazy.
Okay, PG, keep up the good work, and look forward to seeing you on again.
Yep. TEW fan, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Aloha.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was TEW fan calling in all the way from Hawaii. 5 hours behind me. That's crazy. Crazy. City of Heroes fans all around the world. Crazy stuff. Mr. Lightman, and don't worry guys, I am seeing your messages. Mr. Lightman says, look at what they did to WildStar. I agree. WildStar was fun. Yes, I would like to revisit WildStar. I think they're working on constructing a private server for that game, if I'm not mistaken. Keldon says they aren't shutting Homecoming down because of the USA public opinion, because they may decide to make CoH 2 in the future. They don't want to piss off the fans. Fair. What? Whoever just called in, I think that was Zero calling back in. It sent you to voicemail again. Call back in, my friend. Trying to emulate a WildStar server. Yes, it is in the works as far as I know. It'll never be huge, though. That's the only thing. Think if WildStar couldn't be a big-time MMO when it was live and they could actually market it and spend money, advertising dollars on it, it wasn't big then, it definitely won't be big as a private server. It just won't be. And we got Zero back on the line since I was so rude and hung up on him earlier because he did have one other thing he wanted to say.
I'll shorten it. I went to run out my own bath
Mm-hmm.
as my tank, was told you can't solo tank 𝗏. I'm like, you really want to try that?
Do they know 𝗬𝗠? I mean, Zero? Sorry. I said his name again, so he's going to say something. Do they know Zero? And 𝗬𝗠 tanks as well, so.
Yeah, but I was like, did it? I'm like, I was like, I'll direct you to Positive Gamer's channel so you could see what I did know. But, and I had something a bit off topic to ask you.
All right.
Are you ready for Overwatch?
Yes, I am pumped for Overwatch, and I wish we're Battle.net friends, right?
Yes.
Okay. I played last night, but I don't think you were on, right?
Mm-hmm.
After I played.
What time did you play?
I played from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
I was up.
It didn't show you online on my friends list.
Well, I probably closed up the thing.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, we'll have to check because I looked and the only person on my friends list that was on was 𝗖𝗛𝗏. I don't know if 𝗖𝗏𝗏's still in the stream, but he ended up teaming up with me, and we had a couple of really good matches. There were a couple of them where we both went support, and I was swapping between 𝗕ci and Lucio, and then I think he was playing. He was playing. Shoot, who was he? I'm going blank on the. The Mora. I'm bad at pronouncing her name.
Moira.
Yeah.
Moira.
And we were going back and forth both as support with that, and then there was one point. On the King's Row map, we were defending, and I was 𝗕ci, and he was Bastion. And when I was using my right click to boost him, oh my gosh, we held that point up until like 1 minute, and then they finally got a push. But I think we ended up holding them. It was a lot of fun.
Here's something crazy. Bastion used to be able to headshot with that turret form.
Huh. I never really played him very often. I'm not very good with him because he's a little squishy. And I would die pretty often. I'm bad about not continuing to move around. So I sit still, and then they pick me off.
Since I have someone who's played City of Heroes, when I saw King's Row, was I the only one that thought of King's Row?
No, I did the same as well.
I'm like...
It popped up, and I was like, wait. I was like, oh, yeah, never mind. Different game.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm ready to team up with you tonight if you want.
I might actually get in some matches later tonight. So I do have a City of Heroes video I'm gonna film after this live stream. Just a quick inside look video that's coming up probably tomorrow is top 5 most fun archetypes to play in City of Heroes. I'm in the process of recording that. I got to finish it up after the stream. But then once I finish that up, I'll probably hop on some. I might hop on City of Heroes for just a bit, and then I'll probably transition over to Overwatch. So I'll let you know if I hop on and you're on.
To you and the PGP.
Okay.
I am your shield. I will not break.
I believe it.
All right, I'll let someone else call in.
I appreciate you calling in, Zero. I'm looking forward to playing on Saturday on City of Heroes.
Oh, definitely. You'll probably see me on another tanker.
Sounds good. We'll see you then, my friend.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, so for anybody that's not been in a stream or two, maybe you've missed the past few, I am going to stream Overwatch next week, and I am currently playing as we speak, not as we speak now, because we're in the Altoholics Anonymous stream, but I did play some Overwatch last night. I'm not new to the game. I've just taken a long break. I've not played in roughly a year. I played for years up until then. I think I played, we're being honest here, probably every day for about 2 years straight. Miss BG and I played competitive, and I really got deep into it. And again, as we talked about, I kind of burned myself out. I had to step away from it. Typically, I'm good at not burning myself out, but I kind of did on that one. So I backed away and took a break for about a year, but I'm ready to revisit it. So if anybody wants to join up, let me put my Battle.net in the... Hold on. Let me put my Battle.net. I know this is Altoholics Anonymous. But let me put my Battle.net real quick. I don't remember what it is. Let's see. I'm going to look it up on my phone real quick. Send me a friend request if you guys play Overwatch. So we play all sorts of games here. Here we are in an Altoholics Anonymous stream. and we're talking about Overwatch. We just love video games around here. That's the thing. Where is my Battle.net app? There it is. Have a good night, Carol. Thank you for calling in. And yes, Star Wars The Old Republic tomorrow. I don't know what's on the slate yet, but we're going to get into something. This is my Battle.net. Send me a friend request if you think you might consider playing Overwatch. There we go. We are gamers. I'm 45 and will always be a gamer. And you know what's crazy? Everyone told me when I was a kid that I would grow out of it. Did anybody else get told that? They said when you get older and you become an adult and you become responsible and you have a mortgage payment and you have a job, you'll stop playing video games. They told me I would. Hasn't happened yet. I'm 30. I'm really climbing the age ladder here. Getting real old. And no. And it's funny because I understand there's that, it's a different generation, right? At the time there wasn't Twitch. There weren't pro Fortnite players who make a living playing video games, right? It would sound insane if you were to tell that to someone even probably 15 years ago. It went to voicemail again. I don't know who that is that just called. I think my phone, I'm using Google Voice and I think it's messing up. It's sending people to voicemail instantly. I have a question. Where's the best of 2019 vids? There's a not so funny story to tell, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, about the best of 2019 vids. I had over 30 gigs. Yes. 30 gigs of clips that I had taken from my streams. I sat down, went through my streams, took various different clips, about 30 gigs worth, and I was going to cycle through them, find the funniest ones, put some effects on them. I accidentally deleted the folder with all of the clips inside of it. And that was quite discouraging because I spent several days gathering up those clips and in a rush to listen, I deleted it and it's not worth the recovery effort, okay? I mean, I was so frustrated that I never got around to it after that. PG, you're young. It doesn't feel like it, TEW fan. It sure doesn't. I wake up in the morning, I roll out of bed, and you know what's crazy? I do things like this, and when I roll out of bed, it goes and just like pops and cracks, and what the heck was that? You know what I'm saying? It sounds like I'm breaking my bones over here. So, I don't know. I feel pretty old. Yes, they are gone, Keldon. They are long gone, never to be seen ever again. So that is why the best of 2019 video did not happen. Yeah, I was pretty upset about that. Like, all joking aside, I was pretty upset because I thought that was going to be a pretty good video. I see people trying to call in, and I'm not. Look, my hands are off the keyboard. And it's sending them straight to voicemail. As soon as it pops up, I put my hand on my mouse, they go to voicemail. Let me see if I can reboot it real quick and see if we can take one or two more phone calls, if you guys would like. Yeah, I could turn off call screening. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how. Screen calls. Oh my goodness, there it is. Okay, wait, maybe this will work. Okay, 𝗕cie𝗁𝗏 might be onto something here. Let's refresh. Wait until you throw your back out, PG. I just did for the first time and it sucks. Been like a week and it's still in pain. See, I feel like as you get older, anybody 30 and older, when these little things like throwing out your back happen, you should be excused from work because it's a real struggle that we all have as human beings, right? So like call in, hey, I threw out my back, and they're like, hey, completely understandable, man. I threw out my back last week. You know, take a day or two off, rest, relax, play some video games. No problem, you know? 4 times no answer. I don't know what it's doing, Ken. Let me see. Call in one more time. Oh my gosh, it's Horned Owl. He took away the great. Or is that just in CoH? Wait until you shatter your hip. I hope I don't have to experience shattering my hip. That sounds very painful. Once CoH and WoW released, I knew I would be gaming forever. That's fair, Peter, because there's enough content there, even with what's there now, probably for me to go back and forth with CoH and WoW indefinitely, right? I'm going to be in the hospital on my deathbed, and I'm going to be like, bring me my gaming laptop. Yeah, the one with the 5 million terabyte hard drive and the quadruple processor. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. I'm getting crazy. The quadruple processor, what the heck is that? I worked with computers, and that makes no sense at all. Don't listen to me. I was trying to say the quantum processor, but it came out quadruple. I have gaming glasses. Just hook me up. Hook me up and send me in the game. Hello. Who do we have on the phone?
Hey, this is Ken.
It's Ken. It worked. We got you in.
Yes, it finally worked. That was like 6 times that I called.
Yeah, 𝗕𝗏𝗏 had a good idea for me to turn off the screening, which I didn't know how to do. And then we just figured it out like on the spot, and it worked.
Yep, it did. Yeah,
All
the
right.
first time I called in, I tried to be cheeky and do the old collect calling trick. Hey, I'm done at the mall. Come pick me up.
I kind of hate that I missed that, honestly.
Yeah, it was funny, but oh well.
So let's talk here. Are you calling in to answer one of the questions, or did you have something else you wanted to talk about?
Both.
Okay.
So I haven't actually been able to play lately. Life kind of gets in the way.
It happens.
But when I like getting back on the game just because, it's fun to play around with different builds, and my main character, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗖𝗛𝗏 is, he's really fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think of all of the archetypes, of all of the builds and everything, I really do enjoy the controller type.
That's understandable. It's very unique.
Yeah, it is. But I was going to ask, since you like MMOs and those type games, have you looked at or seen 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗖𝗛𝗏?
Yes. Now, how much information or how aware am I of this game? I know the name, and I know that in the past when I worked building custom computers, people came in and said, I need this beefy computer because I want to play 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗖𝗛𝗏, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. So I know the name. I know that it seemed like it required a pretty big time computer to play it, at least before it was released, I believe. So that's about the extent of my knowledge on it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at to see if my computer would be able to play it, but I was looking at the game, and I've been watching some Let's Plays of it. A couple of people streaming it on Twitch and on YouTube, so it looks pretty interesting. I haven't figured out if it's like an RPG MMO or if it's just like an MMO game, and no one seems to want to answer that, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but I like
their minimum recommended specs, RAM 16 gigs. That's minimum. That's
Oh, yeah.
crazy
Yeah, my
because
computer
most
goes through
big
that.
time games are, even nowadays are like minimum you can get by with, 4 or maybe 8, but this is straight calling minimum for 16 gigs of RAM.
Minimum 16.
Wow.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
and also I saw when you were talking about Pokemon, someone in chat had mentioned 𝗕𝗏. Have you seen that? That is an actual
Yes.
MMO along the lines of Pokemon.
Yes, I have actually seen that, and it is intriguing. The only reason I really haven't visited it to be honest, is just time, because I still have Pokemon Sword and Shield that Freddie brought up earlier that I've maybe spent like 4 to 6 hours on. So I haven't even really dove deep into that. And then we have 𝗕𝗏 that's out. It's cool, and it looks very interesting. I've watched a couple people stream it myself as well. Will I ever visit it? I don't know. If I do, it would definitely probably just be off stream. Have you played it?
I played it when they had like a free version back when it was in pre-alpha, and I didn't really do anything with it. It was just like the first in the town area, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly my experience with it has been watching other people play it on YouTube, and it looks cool. I like the idea of it. I'm more, I guess, a loyalist for Pokemon.
Well, and it's understandable because with Pokemon, like everybody already knows the Pokemon, like they're established, right? Like oh my gosh, that's a Pikachu, or holy crap, that's a Mewtwo, right? Like you kind of already just register that because a lot of us grew up with it. We've seen them on the TV series. We've played the games in the past. With 𝗕𝗏 coming out, it's brand new. So it kind of it has a different feel to it. I don't know if it'll ever be on the level of Pokemon. I'm not sure. Pokemon had the card game that went along with it as well. So
yeah. Well, my thing with 𝗕𝗏, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, hey, this is they're doing all these things that the fans want, and, they're doing all these, these features that fans have wanted for a long time. And I was like, well, yes, they're doing the things that the fans want, but, there might be reasons that they couldn't do them with Pokemon. Maybe the feature doesn't fit in the game the way they want to have Pokemon play. So, in that regard, 𝗕𝗏 is, it's a different game, obviously.
Right.
But it's not on the same line as Pokemon, even. It is a monster catching game, but it's not, it's not Pokemon, I guess.
Right. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right. But I'm looking for, it's going to eventually be on the Switch. I've heard like 2021 or 2022. So I'm probably just going to wait until it's on the Switch and get it on the Switch. Because that's, my gaming, I play, MMOs, I play Minecraft, I play The Sims on my PC. Games like that I would prefer to have on my Switch. On the 3DS, I had games like that because it's that type of game isn't one that I would want to sit there and just, play for hours and hours and hours at a time, on my computer.
Right.
It's one that I would prefer to have, on a handheld console. Primarily, I play my Switch as a handheld console.
Yeah, you can take it with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Long rides.
So, exactly. If I'm gonna get on a bus or a train or fly somewhere, I have the game with me and I can play it easily. Being on my computer, I prefer playing more of the heavier games like The Sims or the more focused type games,
right.
I guess.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that's what I was calling to see about if you'd heard of Star Citizen and 𝗕𝗏 and see what your thoughts were on those. So that's cool.
Yeah, and who knows?
You...
I might visit them at some point in the future. Again, Star Citizen definitely piqued my interest, but it's kind of one of those things. I have, as many people probably do, a backlog of games in my Steam library and just in general, and then IRL stuff.
I've got.
There's so many that I want to get to,
I've got
and
a ton of games.
It's a good problem to have. I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining.
No, there's nothing to complain about for that.
Yep.
Every time, it seems like every 3 months, 6 months, there's a Steam sale.
Yep.
So I always end up with new games, and
yeah, when they do their
they do a
big
summer
sale.
Steam sale.
Yes,
They do the
big one. I usually
and
drop
I
a
always
little
end
bit
up
of
with
money.
new games, and I actually think I've got games on there that I've never played.
Yep, I'm
If I
guilty
click
of
on
that
it,
as well.
it's like it just says
Yeah.
bought on blah 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 date.
And it's like for $1, right? Like I gotta buy it. Like even if it's
Exactly.
15 years from now when I play it, it's $1. I gotta buy it. I'll make some kind of
Exactly.
excuse, you know.
Yeah, I've done that with a few of the games that I have. I put games on my wish list just because they often have the sales where your wish list items go on sale.
Yeah, and they send you the
And I always get
notification.
notified of those.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really smart on their
So-
part to have a system like that in place. Hey, just so you know,
It
this
is.
game that's on your wish list is cheaper than it was when you put it on your wish list, just to let you know.
Exactly. Makes you wish Amazon would do that.
Yeah. They might, I don't
That
know.
That
I
would
don't know
be
if they
really
do.
nice. They don't, because I've got lots of stuff in my wish list that goes down in price, and I never get a notification of it until after the fact.
Oh, well. Maybe in the future.
So. Maybe so. All right. Well,
Ken.
it was good talking to you.
Yep, I appreciate you calling in, my friend.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. So a couple of people like 𝗕𝗕. I might visit it in the future at some point. It's on my watch list, I guess, so to say, if that's what you want to call it. But I think we're going to wrap it up at that. The AA meetings are typically about 2 hours. And I don't have a flood of phone calls coming in at the moment. So I think we discussed a lot of good stuff tonight. We discussed, for everybody who's just tuning in that wants kind of a recap, I won't go in depth on it, but we discussed the patch from last week, the changes to the tankers and brutes, the mastermind pets, the phantom army changes. We did the giveaway, Darth triplets. Don't forget to DM me on Discord to claim your unopened pack. City of Heroes collectible card game booster pack. He did win that prize tonight just for hanging out, just chilling, talking City of Heroes. We also talked about the primalist archetype. We viewed some of the powers and then just talked about it a little bit, and if you guys would want to see it on the homecoming server, so we talked about that. And then we took phone calls talking about your favorite incarnate trial or task force or least favorite and what keeps bringing you back to the game. So I think this was a good Altoholics Anonymous meeting. 2 hours feels about right for the amount of time for them. But tomorrow will be Star Wars The Old Republic, and then Saturday will be City of Heroes Incarnate Trials. And then next week, we're also going to bring potentially Overwatch into the mix. Remember to send me that battle.net friend request. I may put it down there one more time. Let me put it down there one more time. Send me that battle.net friend request if you're interested in playing Overwatch. That way we can team up. Let me put it in here one more time. And yes, that is spelled the way that it's supposed to be. The E is missing because it was already taken. And also, if you're interested in the Positive Gamer merch, yes, there are City of Heroes themed ones there. Yes, I'm putting a plug in here just in case, because a lot of people told me, they come to me all the time and say, I didn't know this existed, or I would have got one. So if you want one of these City of Heroes themed shirts, here's one of the cool ones. Go hunt, kill skulls. They're available in 16 different colors, sizes from small up to 5XL. You also have the, I'll show it one more time. It's all a Nemesis plot. My personal favorite in the mocha. The mocha and the gold just pops, right? Oh, it looks so good. And then there's also one with my face on it. That is definitely the lowest selling one, is the one with with my face on it, which is, it is what it is, you know. But I'll link that down one last time for you guys if you want to go check them out. Again, it's more about giving you guys the opportunity to buy some merch that is City of Heroes themed, right? Because it's not like there's a lot of that exists out there anymore. So there's an opportunity at that link that I just put down in the live chat. Thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. At one point, I believe we hit 60 or 65 viewers for an Altoholics Anonymous stream. It still shows there's a lot of love out there still for City of Heroes, and there's still some exciting things coming soon on this channel for City of Heroes. We've got the archetype takeovers, more AA meetings. Who knows what we're going to get into, right? It's always something silly, something crazy on this channel. But what I would like for you guys to do is what we always do. You guys know the drill. We're going to end with the thanks for watching in the sewers. Leave some kind and encouraging words to each other to get through the rest of the night and the work day tomorrow on Thursday. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Tomorrow night, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? I love you guys. You guys are my family. Thank you for calling in tonight. Thank you for everything. This is the greatest community in gaming, period. Peace out, guys.